Well, first of all, we got some of the greatest kids in the world. They just come to work every day. They bust it in the weight room. They're just a pleasure to coach. We are really looking forward to this year. We were very young last year. We looked out on the field at times in 2020 and had 8 sophomores and 1 freshman starting on defense. We got 4 out of 5 offensive linemen back. So we feel like we got a chance to be pretty salty by the time the frost gets on the pumpkin around here, which is in late October. So we're excited about that. Our kids are just fantastic. We got several that's had offers this summer from NAIA all the way up to D1. So that's important for us. We feel like getting these kids out of here and going and getting education is important. So.
Right. Yeah, I had a chance to see that, especially just looking at, some of your guys' social media, Twitter and whatnot, just the kind of recruiting train that's going on in the summer. It's a whole different universe. It almost really isn't an off season when it comes to high school football nowadays. You touched on that a little bit in a post you made a couple of days ago. Do you feel like you have to adapt now to kind of get into the rhythm of it? Is there still some traditional things that are happening with recruiting, or is it just more of, kind of survive and adapt to the landscape?
Well, one thing, I don't take it as an insult as to where we're located, and we're a small school. I do get insulted when people say you can't get your kids recruited here. That's not true. You have to work harder. Like in a 10-day period, we had a group. I drove to Tennessee, came back, we did workouts. The next weekend we went in 7-on-7 down in Orlando, got back, and 2 days later we were at a camp in Georgia. We had kids all over the places at camps, and then you got to flood social media, and our kids do a great job doing the things I ask them to do and doing a good job in the classroom. But yeah, COVID has thrown a wrench in with the transfer portal to make things just even tougher. So, but we take a lot of pride in what we've accomplished in the recruiting, and we still feel like we can get better for these kids, and we're working hard. And we still feel like we can get these kids out of here and getting a great education.
Yeah. What has it been like over the last couple of years, just having the community respond and then support you guys throughout the last couple of seasons?
It's been really special. I'm not going to lie to you. 7 days after that thing hit, we sat out here under a tent, and it was about 98 degrees, and folks hadn't had any air and eating out of cans. And we had some very special people, coaches, come to our rescue and bring in food and supplies. But I told our kids we didn't have to play. I wasn't going to force football down their throat. And they got together out there under that tent and voted to play. And we didn't have power in this field house for 4 weeks and went and played in playoff games. And they did a great job. And I think that built us some team chemistry and family atmosphere and momentum going into 19, our state runner-up year. And, there's still all these kids were part of that program those 2 years back here. And so they know about that. And so last year when things kind of started rough because we were so young and there were some people kind of doubting us, they held the ship together, and we came back and won a playoff game against a real good St. Joe team, and we're ahead of a very good Sneed's team to 2.5 minutes. So it goes to these kids. These are some of the toughest kids in the world. Coaching's overrated. Like I said, I'm just proud of what this program stands for as far as these young men behind me.
Okay, I'm going to ask these kids a couple of questions. Guys, I just want to talk to you about what's it been like over the summer for you guys, and what's your goal going into 2021 in the fall season?
I just want to go to state. I'm just really trying to go to state, trying to get back to Tallahassee.
I'm just really looking forward to that first game and seeing how it's going to play out. I'm really excited for the season.
Logan?
As a senior, being together and working together to protect our quarterback is my number one priority.
Nick Pearson?
I'm just excited for the season, ready to get it going.
Ready to get it going, do whatever I can.
And we try to take it one day at a time. And, people want to talk about state and Madison and Bradford Stark now, of course, and then St. Joe and Baker. Class A football in our state.
Oh, yeah.
Buddy, hey, you talking about Fort Meade, Wildwood, Pahokee, Madison, Bradford Start, Union County, Blountstown, St. Joe, Baker, Northview, Jefferson County. I'm not going to leave Jefferson out. Mr. Iyer is going to get them straight over there. There is a ton of the winningest small school programs in the state in Class A football. So you better buckle up in Class A in Florida. And I think what we've taught our kids, you heard most of them, all they mentioned was the first game.
Right.
So, our focus is just getting better and trying to win that first game, and then we'll worry about the second game.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, one more question. I know COVID was weird for everybody.
Well, some of the hardest things we went through last year.
Having to be in groups.
Yeah, we had to come in groups, wearing masks, hot wearing masks.
For a temperature check.
Temperature check.
Somebody got it. We had to sit on.
Yeah, quarantine. Well, we really didn't have to quarantine that one time. That was when we missed the game because of quarantine.
Yeah, we were now. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but we called some of the most respected coaches in the state over at Swanee, Madison, some other places. We really did our research. It drove me crazy, but we took temperature every day.
Yeah.
We came in groups A, B, C, and then when we dressed back in, it was CBA. We sprayed kills on every day. We did all this stuff, and honestly, we never had a kid get sick. Never had a kid test positive throughout the season. What shut us down against Jefferson? We had a coach go to a wedding, and he was positive, and our health department just thought it was best. But I just the hardest thing was it took a lot of normalcy away from the kids. I mean, we're adults. I woke up this morning, it's my 24th season, but these seniors only get one senior season.
Right.
And last year it was just very tough, man. We ended up only playing 8 games, cancel, play. Opponents canceling on you at the last second. I just hate it takes away from these kids. They work so hard. They bleed, they sweat, not just Blountstown, all these high school kids, man. They put a ton of work in, and, I just want them to have a great experience. And so many people work so hard to give us this opportunity. And so I just hope that these seniors and juniors get to live out their season that they deserve.
Yeah, I think just even from covering and watching football, you don't recognize how much you just take for granted. And then going from week to week and then watching the team and then realizing like, wow, they only played 4 games and that was it. Coach, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you about some X's and O's. Who you have coming back on offense and defense this year?
Well, we got about 8 back on offense. We do have a new quarterback, Josh Pope, which the last couple of years we were having to be real relying on the veer and the power run game, which we'll always have a power run game here. That's just how we're built. But we'll be able to throw the ball a little bit better this year. And we got some good receivers out there in Jordan Pride, who I mentioned about the FSU deal. And then Andre Williams is going to be explosive out there for us. Amarian Hover is a sophomore, 200-pound running back. His brother played for us a couple years ago named Denzel Washington. It was a really good player. And Amarian's going to be a player just like that. Garrett Martin's been starting at fullback 3 years. Tristan Jones behind him. Elam Johnson started last year. And then 4 out of 5 on the offensive line are back. Deontay's been starting for us on the D-line, but he's going to help us at tight end. And we feel like we got a lot of experience over there. And then like on defense, like I told you last year, we looked out there against St. Joe. Due to injury at one time, we had 8 sophomores and 1 freshman on the field in the playoffs. So we got a lot of experience back there. In Class A ball, you're always concerned about depth. So if I had to pick one thing that concerns me the most, it's our depth chart, But our first 11 on either side of the ball, I feel like by October, November, well, we can play with anybody in the state.